All right, well, a little bit different for us to come out at this time and practice. And I think it took us a couple minutes to get going, but once we moved through our little Okie drill there, Oklahoma drill, I thought it really picked up and it was good practice, good energy. Having to, this is Southern California, so we're going to call this wind here elements. Most part of the country, this isn't elements. But for the quarterbacks and the receivers having to deal with the little wind, it's good, It's not always going to be a perfect day when you play. So it's good practice. We got a lot done. Got a couple guys back. Simon was back out here today. Cheech was back out here today. Kevin McReynolds was back out here today. So we need those guys because we were a little bit thin on the offensive line. And Dietrich was moving around a little bit. I think he's still going to get evaluated tomorrow, but at least he was not in a sling, and he seems like he's feeling pretty good. So I think we're making some progress, but we've got a long way to go.
Is Dietrich day-to-day? You think you might get him back pretty soon?
We'll find out tomorrow when he sees the doctor. And I don't know if they're going to do an MRI or what the evaluation will be. I think that they'll decide as they look at him. I'm hopeful that he'll be back out here. I think he needs to be back out here. I think it's for him and for his psyche and just getting back into the flow of it and eventually fitting back into contact. That's important for him. And we need him. We're light and we need him to get work.
Surprising that Cheech came back this. We're going to get him back right now.
No. I felt like we might. I think more than anything with Cheech, there was a fear factor involved. As there would be for any young guy coming off a concussion. There's so much out there right now about concussions. It's such a hot topic, and it should be because it should be a point of concern. But I think at times it might scare. A young man like that, and it did. But he came back today, and he did well. So that's a positive sign.
Ellis, McCarthy.
We're going to take it easy with Ellis. I don't mean take it easy on Ellis, but take it easy working him back in. You see him doing a lot of work on the side with Coach Alosi, movement stuff. We hope by the end of this week he's in some individual drills. I think it's really important with Ellis that we do the right thing. And would I like to have him in spring ball every day, doing every drill? Yeah, but I'd rather have him 100% healthy when we strap it up for real in August. I really would. I just think we do the guy a real disservice if we ask him to come out here when he's not 100% healthy. He's still young, he's still developing, he's still trying to feel out his body. And I think that if we can get him in the fall or in the summer at 100%, that's a great objective for us.
With Orgioki, is there any thought of moving him back to tight end or at all? I know you experimented with that. No, we're going to let him settle in at linebacker for a while. Okay. He's young and he's growing. I mean, hey, there's a chance that someday he's playing defensive end. He's put on a lot of weight. He's still 17 years old. So we'll just see where his body takes him, but I think he'll stay on the defensive side of the ball. He's doing a good job at linebacker right now. Okay. And Yese as well. Is he? I know he's the end right now.
We put Nate down, like you said, down at defensive end. It's I think the same type of thing. We'll let his body take him where it takes him, but he'll stay on the defensive side.
Okay.
We fiddled around with that and played them at tight end, as you guys know, in the bowl prep and a little bit in the scout team. They look good doing the scout team stuff. But they were running off of a card, and it's a little bit different when you're fitting into the offense and you're having to read the defense, and there's not a line on a piece of paper that tells you exactly where to go. So they're just more natural on defense right now.
With your offensive line, is it hard to get a sense of what it will look like in the fall because so many new guys coming in and so many are injured right now?
Yeah, we have 7 guys coming in. We've kind of moved through the injury phase, so I think today and going forward, as long as we can get everyone out here and healthy, we'll have a better feel for it. But, we hope and our expectations are that some of those guys that are coming in as freshmen can push these guys. And, like I've said many times, we're not going to put limitations on anybody, and we're not afraid to play young guys. We're going to play the best guys, the guys that give us the best chance to win, that fit into what we're trying to do and do it the way we want it done. So I'm looking forward to that competition.
Have you noticed anything about Anthony Jefferson either today or on film? He looked like he had a pretty good day out there today.
I think that he's made progress every day. I think that finally he's feeling more healthy. When he had the problem with his leg a couple of years ago, I think that finally AJ is getting back to what he once was physically. And I think it's showing in the way he plays and the confidence that he plays with and the plays he's making on the ball. And it's exciting to see, you know, because he's been through some really tough times, and he's hung in there, and he's kept a good attitude, and it hasn't been easy, but he's persevered, and it's just fun to see him having some success.
Big Pin's running around. Is he on schedule? Where is he?
Yeah, you know what? He was a little behind schedule for a while, but all of a sudden he's made a little jump. And I think seeing his teammates out here doing this has kind of, you know, pepped him up a little bit. And, you know, I don't know at what point he'll be back out here. It will not be in spring. You know that. It'll be at some point during the summer camp, hopefully. You know, if we have to wait until we get into the season, we'll wait. We're going to make sure he's healthy. You know, that's a position where you have to have great confidence in your ability to make that cut and avoid a hit. And if you don't, it's really tough to play that spot. So we got to make sure he's okay.
He had his surgery in December?
Yeah. He got hurt versus Southern Cal, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think we waited 3 or 4 weeks for the swelling to go down. And so, yeah, probably in December.
So he's at 4 months right now?
Yeah, about 4, but he's doing well.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, you know what? What was holding him back early was he just wasn't getting the extension and the flexion, but he's making some breakthroughs there. So he's able to move around a lot better. I mean, I saw him jogging, and it's good to see. It's good to see.
How's Taylor make the transition from safety to linebacker? Are you satisfied with that?
Yeah, I like what Taylor does there. You know, we moved him there late last year, and we call it that mini backer spot. It seems like a perfect position for him because he's aggressive, he's good down in the box. It's really kind of a rover position, and he's been impressive. You know, when we did those scrimmages for bowl prep, he showed up, you know, making plays on the ball. And in these last couple practices with pads, he's shown up making plays in the run game as well. So, you know, I think he'll be a factor there. I also think he's an excellent special teams player. So we're looking for him to be productive for us this year.
Paul Perkins had a pretty long touchdown in practice. Do you think today was a breakout practice for him, or at least a step in the right direction?
Step in the right direction. Yeah, I mean, it's one play. You know, I'm sure there were some breakdowns on defense. We were going live, and I'm not sure that everyone was ready to go live yet. But it's certainly good to see him make that play. I also thought that Malcolm made some impressive runs today. You know, like we talked about on Saturday, when he runs, you know, it's cliche, runs behind his pads, which means he lowers his center of gravity and he gets a little forward lean going. And he's an imposing figure coming at you. But, you know, he's got to do a better job of holding on to the football. He dropped it a couple times, and he's got to be consistent doing that. But, you know, I think like we said, between Jordan and Paul and, you know, Stephen Manfro's not out here yet. We know that he can do some good things with the ball. And Malcolm and Melvin's doing a good job, and Rosie. We're going to be, you know, we're going to have a group there that's going to do a good job for us.
Castro seems good standing up.
Yeah, it's so foreign to him too. I mean, he's never dropped before. You know, sometimes it's completely out of the realm of what he's ever done. But he's athletic, and he really works at it. And I tell you what, he hasn't stood out as a guy that you go, he can't do that. You know, we got to move him back down. He looks like a guy that can do it. So he's just going to keep getting better. And remember, it's been a while since he's played football too.
Speaking of transition, Devin Fuller just seems like he's getting better at every practice.
Yeah, he's an amazing athlete. I mean, he's so darn smooth. He's not yet consistent enough catching the ball. You know, he finds himself in traffic sometimes, and it's not just natural for him because he hasn't been in that position. But you're so right, Tracy. I mean, he's such an amazing athlete, and he runs good routes. And when he gets it in his hands, he's hard to catch and he's hard to tackle. All right.